It's been over 100 days since Trump has moved into the Oval Office. Since then, he's been busy signing a slew of executive orders, among which was an order to ban immigration from certain Muslim-majority countries, and another that opened the floodgates for the construction of the Keystone XL pipeline. Trump has taken so many hateful actions, it can be hard to keep track. So today, we're going to review the measures his administration has taken related to climate regulation. Trump's anti-environmental agenda is fueled by a jobs-first ideology, which, when considering the fact that American solar jobs have now surpassed the amount of coal jobs, is a bit confusing. There's a consistent theme throughout Trump's actions of slashing needed environmental regulation in order to bring back the jobs of an already declining fossil fuel industry. By equating environmental regulation and climate action with job loss, Trump paints himself as a hero. But in reality, the executive orders he has signed and the work done by Scott Pruitt at the EPA has started to lead the United States down a dangerous path towards increased pollution and accelerated climate change. So let's start with Trump's 18th executive order, which he signed on March 28th. The content of the order essentially demands the immediate review of all existing regulations, orders, guidance documents, and policies that potentially burden the development or use of energy sources like oil, natural gas, coal, and nuclear energy. At the core of this executive order lies Trump and head of EPA Scott Pruitt's desire to roll back Obama's signature clean energy plan, which they see as an unnecessary burden on fossil fuel companies, but would have put us well on our way towards meeting the Paris climate goals in 2025, according to the New York Times. In addition to this proposed limitation of measures to decrease rampant fossil fuel use, Trump greenlighted both the Keystone XL and Dakota Access pipelines just 4 days after his inauguration. Both these were significant battlegrounds for environmental justice during the Obama administration, and were stalled by hard-fought protests and climate action. But with these pipelines, Trump once again boasts that their construction will bring jobs and money to the American people. Yet in the case of the Keystone XL pipeline, most of the steel will be imported from foreign companies, according to TransCanada, the company responsible for building the pipeline. Also, pipeline leaks could severely harm water supplies and farmland in the Midwest, which would eventually lead to a decrease in crop yield and could harm communities near the pipeline. In conjunction with Trump's more public actions, EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt has used his pulpit to continue to fuel the myth that there is still debate about climate change. In an interview, he has claimed that CO2 is not a primary contributor to the global warming that we see, and has asserted on multiple occasions that
we need to continue the debate and to continue the review and analysis.
This is at odds with an overwhelming number of scientific studies, and unfortunately, climate science research seems to have taken a back seat at the EPA under Scott Pruitt. Even the EPA itself, the United States' first guard for regulating and policing environmental issues, is slowly being dismantled under the guise of a federalist transformation. But really, decreasing regulation benefits the fossil fuel industry, an industry which Pruitt continues to meet with regularly. These are just a few noteworthy anti-environmental actions that the Trump administration has taken within the first 100 days, which doesn't bode well for the next 4 years. However, even though it feels like the hard-won climate action gains are slipping away, all is not lost. There has been meaningful and important backlash both from concerned citizens and state governments. New York and California, among other states, are adamantly committed towards building a renewable energy future, and their efforts have led to tangible projects that create both jobs and a way to combat a fossil fuel entrenched system. As these states have and continue to show, climate action does not mean an economic meltdown as Trump assumes. In fact, it's an effective tool for creating more jobs, better collective health, and stronger communities. Thanks so much for watching. I would love to hear your thoughts on the Trump administration's environmental stance in the comments below. And as always, if you like the video, consider subscribing or supporting me financially on Patreon, and I will see you next Friday.